I'm going to give you 10 random objects. By the end of this video, you'll remember every single one in order, even if you think you have a terrible memory. Ready? Imagine walking into your childhood home. The front door is exactly where you remember it. The couch is still in the living room. The kitchen smells like memories. You know where every room is without thinking. Now imagine using that same house to remember your biology textbook. Sounds ridiculous. Good, because your brain loves ridiculous. In fact, one of the oldest memory techniques in history, used by Greek and Roman scholars over 2,000 years ago, is still one of the most effective ways to memorize huge amounts of information today. It's called the memory palace. And before you think, this is only for memory champions with superhero brains? No. Most memory champions aren't born with extraordinary memories. They're just using better systems. Today, I'll show you how to build a memory palace that actually works, why most people fail when trying it, and how to use it to memorize facts, presentations, vocabulary, formulas, and even entire chapters. Let's begin. Your brain doesn't remember information. It remembers places. Here's something strange. Can you remember where your toothbrush is? Probably. How about where the fridge is? Easy. What about the route from your bedroom to your kitchen? You don't even have to think. That's because humans evolved to remember locations. Thousands of years ago, remembering where food, water, and danger were located literally kept us alive. Scientists call this spatial memory, and it's one of the strongest memory systems in the brain. But when your chemistry teacher writes potassium permanganate is KMNO4, your brain goes, I have no idea where to put this. It is just floating information. No location, no story, no connection. And floating information sinks quickly. The memory palace gives every piece of information a home. Instead of storing facts in empty space, you place them somewhere your brain already knows. That's why it feels almost unfair. The biggest mistake everyone makes. Most beginners hear about the memory palace and immediately try to memorize an entire textbook. Big mistake. That's like buying a bicycle and entering the Tour de France. Start ridiculously small. Pick one place you know better than anywhere else. Your bedroom, your apartment, your route to school, your grandmother's house. Anywhere you could walk through with your eyes closed. Now identify about 10 fixed locations. For example, the front door, the shoe rack, the sofa, the TV, the dining table, the sink, the refrigerator, the stairs, the bed, the wardrobe. These locations should never change order. Consistency is everything. Think of them as numbered shelves inside your brain. The secret ingredient: make everything weird. Here's where people accidentally make memory palaces useless. They place boring information in boring ways. Let's say you're trying to remember the planets. Instead of simply imagining Mercury sitting on your sofa, imagine Mercury as a tiny silver ball screaming because your sofa is on fire. Venus? A giant beauty queen spraying perfume all over your television. Earth? A spinning globe throwing pizza slices at you. Mars? A red alien punching holes through your refrigerator. Is this completely absurd? Absolutely, that's the point. Your brain remembers unusual things far better than ordinary ones. Psychologists call this the von Restorff effect, the tendency to remember things that stand out. If it's weird, it's memorable. Use all 5 senses. Most people only see the image. That's not enough. Can you hear it? Can you smell it? Can you feel it? Imagine memorizing the digestive system. Instead of seeing a stomach, hear it growling, feel it vibrating, smell spicy food, watch acid bubbling everywhere. The more senses involved, the stronger the memory becomes. Think of your memories like Velcro. Every extra detail adds another hook. Soon, forgetting becomes surprisingly difficult. Never memorize words. Memorize pictures. Here's a challenge. Don't think of the word banana. Too late. You pictured one. Your brain naturally thinks in images. So if you're memorizing vocabulary, convert abstract words into concrete pictures. Suppose you're learning the word photosynthesis. Don't store the word. Imagine a giant sunflower wearing sunglasses while drinking sunlight through a straw. Completely inaccurate. Completely unforgettable. Remember, your memory doesn't care whether something is realistic, it cares whether it's memorable. Walk through your palace. This is the step almost everyone skips. After placing your images, close your eyes. Mentally walk through the building. Open the front door. Look around. See every object. Interact with it. Move slowly. Then walk through it again and again. Every walkthrough strengthens the pathway. It's like walking through a forest. The first trip is difficult. By the 10th trip, there's a clear trail. Eventually, your brain can sprint through it. One palace equals one topic. Here's another beginner mistake. They dump history, chemistry, shopping lists, birthdays, and football scores into the same house. Now everything collides. Instead, create different memory palaces for different subjects. One house for biology, one apartment for chemistry, one school building for history, one shopping mall for languages. Keep them separate. Your brain loves organized spaces. Treat it like a library, not a junk drawer. The memory palace isn't magic. Let's be honest. This technique won't magically make you remember everything forever, because memory has one enemy: time. If you never revisit your palace, your memories fade. That's why memory champions review strategically. A simple review schedule works well. After 10 minutes, after 1 day, after 3 days, after 1 week, after 1 month. Each review takes less time than the previous one. This is called spaced repetition, and when combined with the memory palace, it's incredibly powerful. One gives information a location, the other keeps it alive. Together, they're like giving your memories both a home and regular maintenance. When not to use a memory palace. Here's something people rarely tell you. The memory palace isn't perfect for everything. If you're trying to understand calculus, you need practice. If you're learning programming, you need problem solving. If you're writing essays, you need understanding and application. The memory palace is best for remembering information, not replacing understanding. Use it for facts, definitions, vocabulary, historical dates, anatomy, presentations, exam points, names, sequences. Use other study methods for deeper thinking. Think of the memory palace as a storage system, not the entire learning process. Your 10-minute memory palace challenge. Let's make this practical. Today, build your first palace. Choose one familiar place, pick 10 locations, take 10 vocabulary words, formulas, historical events, or biology terms. Turn each into the weirdest mental image you can imagine. Walk through the palace twice. Come back tomorrow. See how many you remember. You'll probably surprise yourself. Not because your memory suddenly became amazing, but because you finally gave your brain what it has always wanted: places, stories, emotion, and imagination. Final thoughts. Most people believe they have a bad memory. Usually they don't. They just have a bad storage system. The memory palace has survived for over 2,000 years because it works with the way our brains naturally organize information. It's not about having a photographic memory. It's about building memorable experiences instead of staring at lifeless words. So the next time you're cramming for an exam, preparing a speech, or trying to learn something new, don't just read it again for the 5th time. Give it a place to live. Because the fastest learners aren't always the smartest. They're often the ones who know exactly where to look inside their own minds. And that's a skill worth building. Memory challenge. Before we wrap up, remember the challenge from the beginning? Let's see how many of these you can recall. Without scrolling back, try to remember the 10 objects in order. Ready? Banana, rocket, guitar, penguin, pizza, diamond, elephant, camera, crown, volcano. How many did you get? If you built a simple memory palace while watching this video, chances are you remembered far more than you expected. And here's the interesting part. Your memory didn't suddenly become better over the last few minutes. You simply gave your brain a better way to organize information. That's the real power of the memory palace. It doesn't give you a new brain. It teaches you how to use the one you already have. Now here's your homework. Build a memory palace using your own house or bedroom. Place these 10 objects along a familiar route, but make every image as weird, exaggerated, and unforgettable as possible. Then come back tomorrow and see how many you still remember without looking. You might be surprised by the results. If this simple exercise helped you remember all 10 objects, imagine what it could do for your next exam, presentation, or language learning session. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Simple Actually for more science-backed study techniques, productivity tips, and brain hacks made simple. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.